Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 release schedule or how it's going to work from a non VIP's perspective. So, now, why did I say a non VIP's perspective? Because if you have VIP, you have almost gotten all the newly released books like Crimes of Passion or Wake the Dead. Well, Crimes of Passion not yet, but soon you'll be getting there. But as a non VIP, the release schedule of 2021 is still a new book for all of the non VIP players in 2022. Even the books that ended for VIPs in this year, that is Shipwrecked, that's also going to be kind of a new book, but that will still be continuing and that will still be in its peak when 2022 comes along. Now, the other books like Crimes of Passion and Wake the Dead, they will also be new books of 2022 for non-VIP players. And if you look at the release schedule, they have only, and just before, let me mention that the new early VIP access, and that says that all the newly releasing books are going to be VIP from now on. So it's pretty obvious that only two books are gonna get sequel next year, and first one is the Nanny Affair Book 3, and the second one is Laws of Attraction Book 2. Now, they said this is going to be this year. The Nanny Affair is going to be this year. That there is no doubt about it. We don't know so far if Queen Bee is gonna get a sequel or not. And Laws of Attraction, at what point it's gonna get a book two? Whether it's gonna be this year or it's gonna be, I mean, by this year I mean 2022 or it's gonna be the next year. We don't know yet. But let's assume that Laws of Attraction and the Nanny Affair are going to be the books to get a sequel. So only two books. I think something pretty interesting is happening here. Because if you look closely, you will see last year, I mean in 2021, we had Open Heart Book 3 sequel, Queen Bee sequel, Nanny Affair sequel, what else? Baby Bump sequel. That was last year almost, but in December, so I'm counting that. Four sequels. Royal Romance, that Royal Finale, that one. Fifth sequel. And I still think was one more sequel I can remember. So anyway, 5 to 6 sequels we have each year almost. But next year is going to be only two sequels. And I think this is perhaps because they want to produce more books, and the more new books, that means the more new VIP players will keep paying their money, and because new books are going to be only VIP, the sequels are not going to be part of VIP. So next year is going to be pretty interesting because almost most of the VIP books are going to be coming out next year because we have only two sequels like I explained. So when we talk about exclusive books for non-VIP folks, we don't have much except some sequels. So first sequel is the Nanny Affair Book 3. That's we're gonna getting this year, sure shot. Later this year, but we're getting this. And Laws of Attraction 2, perhaps we'll get this year. So just two sequels, and these are also the only two books that the non-VIP folks are gonna get on time. For all the other books, so perhaps they're going to release one book each month, except January, I guess. They're going to release one book each month, and all the books are going to be VIP. So non-VIPs are going to get the books 2 or 3 months later from when they would be released. So there is a lag in the calendar. But we will also get books formerly or previously released books in VIP section like Mismatch or you know Slow Burn and other books, VIP books that are there. We'll also be getting those books. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that thing plays out. I mean, there's going to be a continuum, like a flow of books for non-VIPs and VIPs. But one thing that is really sad that they made all the newly releasing books a VIP book, because when sometimes as a non-VIP player you wait for the books, they kind of become stale and you kind of have the chapter description. It's really hard. Like I was waiting for Wake the Dead, and I've been waiting for Wake the Dead since last year when they mentioned the word zombie, and then when they made it VIP book, I kept watching you know the descriptions and stuff, so it kind of is not as much premium or exciting or as much exclusive when you're reading it 2 or 3 months later, and you kind of come across spoilers here and there, and if you're not coming across, then you can sort of resist yourself from watching the descriptions, and it's kind of out there, so it's there. I think it's a bit of a killjoy and not as much fun as it would have been if it was you would have gotten to read it on spot, like exclusively. So, new books, newly releasing books, will only be VIP and not accessible to general public. I think that's a pretty damning thing Choices did last year. I mean, there should still be one or two specific genre or one or two special books, I guess, they should do every year that would be released in choices for all the general public, VIP or non VIP. Because otherwise, I know there will be sequels, but now you see they have cut the sequels too. So there are just two sequels, so meaning two exclusive books are getting, and they are also sequel. We kind of know what story they're going to have. But what I'm talking about, a new book with new genre or something, so that thing exclusive that should be available to non VIP players. Maybe they can do with just one or two book each year. Otherwise, I think it would be really unfair to folks who are non VIP, but who want to read a new exclusive book without waiting. I think they should be thinking about that. But let me know your thoughts on this. This is a pretty interesting topic, but that's about the next year's release schedule for non VIPs. We'll have to wait mostly for, so most books that will be releasing in the first half of the next year will be getting those books in the later half of the next year, and the books releasing in the later half of 2022 will be getting those in the earlier half of 2023. So that's a pretty much big calendar shift. And meanwhile, we'll be also reading some previous books that were available to non VIPs like Mismatch or Slow Burn, but that will also eventually end. So it would be pretty interesting to see where we stand in the later half of 2022. Will there be another change in the release schedule of Choices? Will Choices stop this VIP releases? Will Choices sort of cancel their only VIP release and make it available for all the publics, or will they come out with something crazy new idea like after 1 week each chapter gets available to non VIPs instead of waiting for 2.5 months or something? Will something change? Will there be more complaints, or will it further double down and we'll have to wait longer? What will happen? What will change? There's a lot of questions, a lot of unknown factors, but I guess only time will answer to that. Meanwhile, let's discuss this in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.